there are nesting dolls that are incepted with things that are the opposite of who we are. And that means those thoughts, feelings, beliefs in those grids, in those nesting dolls, are counter to our true energy signature. And for a very long time, our reality was hijacked with that experience of opposites attracting. Okay, I don't mean male, female, I mean opposites. I mean black, white, dark, light. This is partially why women still to this day are really attracted to the bad boys, right? Because we're attracted to the opposite of who we are, the opposite of what we want. And we pull it in, and then we make it, it's all about our inadequacies on why we can't get the relationship we want with this opposite energy, okay? So that has been melting away for quite some time. And for those of us who are going that are in the multidimensional journey where we transcended the whole, I want to say, religious game, I want to even spiritual game. It's like, it's not a spiritual path anymore. This is something that is different. It's a completely different frame up. It's not about devotion. It's not about, except for the devotion to the truth, the devotion to knowing thyself. Any other kind of devotion to an external deity or to this being or that being or whatever, all of that is irrelevant once you start on that sovereign multidimensional journey. It's about the devotion to knowing thyself, right? So there are humans still working themselves out of this opposite thing. And this happened actually in the exact same chat that our dear sister Starshine Creating Momentum was in. And this was someone who is watching this, watching the chat. I mean, you guys, I'm very clear about what I'm saying. It's like I don't pretend to be in any kind of dogma about this or that. If anything, I encourage you to question everything that we think we know, because that is really, for me, a path of that's liberating, that's decoding this 4D field distortion. Anyway, but they were, quoting something from the Bible, like there are no such things as past lives. When I first read that, it's like, well, true. On a certain level, there are no past lives. That's not the truth, but we're in a linear frame up trying to explain something that's multidimensional. In another level of self, it's all happening simultaneously, right? But that's not what they meant. They actually meant that as a reference, because the Bible doesn't talk about it. And then we have another Starshine chiming in who knows the Bible really well. It says, what are you talking about? And she actually started putting in specific verses that mention reincarnation, which was pretty funny. But what my point in that is that they feel drawn to engage with something that isn't in alignment with them. That's the point. There's something in these grid works that kept humanity drawn into something that's not in resonance with them. So we are subconsciously drawn to things that keep up the war inside, keep up the fight, keep up the resistance, keep up the feeling of opposition. Okay, that's what I saw unfolding in that conversation, was that this particular starshine that is heavy in the religious dogma is drawn to this because they are drawn to the fight. They are drawn into the opposite. They're still in touch with that grid work that tells us we're not good enough, and then, brings us into all of the opposite battles that need to be fought, that need to be held. Okay? This is a huge thing because our dear sister Creating Momentum has woken up out of that opposite game and is now being put on the path of alignment game, right? And that everything changes when that happens. That means our yes for the truth of who we are, for the love of who we are, for the freedom, for the sovereignty of who we are is much stronger than the no. Okay? When the no is stronger, then we are in that frame up of learning through aversion. We have to consistently experience what we don't want until we wake up to honoring thyself on a very deep level. Now it's about what we truly want. You see what I mean? We don't need the fight. We don't need the opposition in order to feel the truth inside, in order to get what it is we truly are I'm resonating with inside. Okay.